the rising cost of property insurance in Florida over the last 5 years has been more than that, but the rising cost has been like the dominant issue of the state. And the legislature has done just about everything the insurance industry has asked. And what they've gotten at best is slower rates of increases. And so the contrast there was really interesting with Ron DeSantis, though. He was eventually asked. He did a press conference after his speech where he was asked about this stuff, and essentially he used it to just keep defending all the reforms that they passed. And the reforms, we've talked a lot about this on this podcast, but they fall into two major buckets as far as I'm concerned. They made it far harder to sue insurance companies, for policyholders to fight back against insurance companies that unfairly deny or delay or just drag out claims. And they also drove up the cost of insurance by essentially enforcing price increases at Citizens, the state's nonprofit insurer, forcing rates up there, which gives insurance companies the freedom to raise rates, private insurers more room to raise rates themselves, even to the point where they're like forcing many people out of Citizens into forcing them to accept higher prices from private insurance companies. All of this stuff they've done over the last few years, and Ron DeSantis is out there defending this. And it strikes me this is a dangerous spot for Ron DeSantis to be in, essentially the defender of the status quo, particularly on this one issue. It is one thing, it seems to me, it is one thing to defend all this when Florida Republicans are all in lockstep on the issue, because, I don't think you can find a Floridian out there who's happy with their property insurance situation right now, or not. You can't find a significant number. You can find many who are unhappy, regardless of their party, Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever. But the way the reality of politics is that polarization and party loyalty tends to trump a lot of these issues. So, defending this stuff when all Republicans are on the same page about it strikes me as one thing. But if Ron DeSantis is going to end up sort of defending the insurance industry and all the kind of anti-consumer changes, the friendly way to say it, the tough medicine that they made Floridians swallow, if he's going to be defending that stuff himself while a bunch of Republicans are turning on it, that strikes me as a really dangerous situation for him to be in. So anyway, that will obviously be one of the dominant stories to watch, where this goes, where this anger that is clearly exists in the Florida Capitol to the insurance industry, how that actually manifests itself, whether it actually manifests into sort of meaningful policy or any sort of help for consumers, or, hell, at this point, I would settle for passing some reforms that clamp down on some of these financial games, empowered regulators to do more, and ensured some like legit transparency where people outside of the industry can actually look at some of this stuff and make sense of the claims that the insurance industry is making. And